Well, Igor and I just left Oakhurst. Had some camera problems earlier, so I couldn't record the start. It's about 8 o'clock almost, I think. And under my kit, I'm sporting an undershirt. I have my arm warmers on and gloves, long finger gloves. And it's pretty cool, and I'll show you later on. Little head cover made specifically for off the front. And back, since this is our Igor ride, well, it's just about 9 o'clock. We've gone about 12 miles and climbed about 1,600 feet. As you can see, we are now riding along the Merced River. This is a 10-mile stretch. Flat. Some falls flat, but mostly flat. And as you can see, it is shaded pretty much the whole way. Being at 9:30 in the morning at elevation, it's cool. I wanted it to be a little warmer. I wanted to get some sun. So this gave me an opportunity to do some big ring work. Why big ring? I don't know. It was 114 miles, 13,000 feet, and I still feel I needed to get some big ring work in. So that's what I did. I was taking long, strong pulls, and Igor was taking some long, strong pulls. We did this for about the whole 10 miles. In fact, we did this for the whole 10 miles. Come out on the other end, and we come out to La Puerta. Must be a fire somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, I saw it on the front. They also go right, the water sucking water in, and then
circling around. So we have about 50 miles. How much feet are climbing?
I have about 4,000.
4,000? Okay.
So, do you want to stop here and get some?
Yeah, just some water. I'm good. We were doing some big ring work. When we were along the Merced River, had to put on our arm warmers and gloves, at least I did. So right now we're at almost, well, I shouldn't say about, yeah, almost halfway there, but we have a lot more climbing to do. On something like this is not just a fun ride for me, this is a purposeful fun ride. Not a pleasure ride. Don't do pleasure rides. Spinning all the time. I'm spinning when it's safe enough. Sometimes there's a tight descents or stop signs, things like that. But when I am in my endurance mode, then I'm spinning all the time. Spinning in the back of Igor, spinning obviously in the front, spinning on descents. You don't want to waste a pedal stroke. No lollygagging. I was in the restroom. Igor said that a lone female rider went by, and it's here. What do you do up here, since you live up here?
I work with a partner.
Ah, okay.
Doing environmental education.
Oh, nice. See if this is my teammate Igor back here. And you are?
Kaylee.
Kaylee, okay. She's running from here. Okay, well, it was nice meeting you, Kaylee. Have a good ride.
Nice.
Now this looks like an absolutely beautiful road. Not too steep, but you can just motor on this. Motor, of course, is a relative term. The major disappointment I had was that I missed a great shot. Back in La Puerta, I think it's called, where you saw the helicopters. Well, I had the camera on, and I rode to the nearest place by the river where the helicopters were dropping down to get water. I did not have apparently the video portion of my camera on. So basically, these choppers would go down to about 10 feet or so over the water, and they had this pipe that was dangling down, and it would suck up the water and suck up all the water they needed. Then they would hover higher, lift off, so to speak, and then go off to their destination. The next one would come in and do that. So I guess it was a small fire that was near 140, but way off the beaten path, so to speak. There was it was hard to get to, and so hopefully those two choppers kept everything at bay enough, and that the rains that came today actually extinguished it. I would think so. Now I'm in Yosemite here, as you can see. Beautiful. The camera just doesn't do it justice. You're riding along, you look up, and there's nothing but granite walls. And this was a fantastic sight, and I was very thankful that I was able to do this ride today. Oh, okay. Oh, where are you guys coming from?
We just locally camping here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, very cool.
Where are you from?
We're from Fresno Madera area. How about yourself?
Bend, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of time, I had to cut out a lot of the conversation I had with this gentleman. You may not have noticed, but he was on a tandem. He and his wife are visiting from Bend, Oregon. They drove over here and brought their tandem along. It's on their trip, and they're just cruising around. Over here, this is pretty much the end of Yosemite. We are, I forget what this location is called, but we look over Yosemite Valley there. Now, you can't tell with this camera so well, but in the background, there are rows of dead trees, due to the drought, obviously. So now we're going through the famous tunnel, and when I was going through this, I was thinking of Freud, ergo the part of the title for this video. And it was pretty cool and freaky at the same time, particularly when a car came up. Whether the car was coming from the back of you or in front of you, you could not tell. There's this big rumble, and everything is just encapsulated with a sound, with nowhere to go except into your head. You'll also notice that there is not much of a bike lane over there. In fact, I had to be very careful when I was in the bike lane, not to hit my foot or my pedal against the curb there, which is about 6 or 8 inches high. Having that with a car next to you was a little bit daunting, but we made it out nonetheless. Well, that was pretty freaky and neat at the same time. I would imagine that's what the tunnel looked like in dreams that people would report to Freud, a Freudian tunnel. Okay, we're about, it's only 4.5 miles. I am at about the 79-mile mark. Igor wanted us to meet up at Glacier Point, but it looks like there's a bit of a descent here, so I wanted to wait for him so we can descend together. He's climbing better than before when we were climbing at Bass Lake, or before Bass Lake I should say, but I think all the climbing is kind of catching up, so he's suffering a bit again. At this point we're just a few miles out of Wawona, I believe. And we caught a break. This RV comes by and we hook up onto the back of it. We weren't going too close because of the curves and the speed this RV was going, which is not that fast relative to what we could do. In fact, often I had to be on the brake, so obviously I was not pedaling, where I was trying to pedal everywhere else. This is one of those unsafe spots where you don't want to pedal, obviously. All the other times when I'm pedaling, you got to be using good form, be efficient, do a lot of pulling around at the bottom of the circle and kicking over the top. So after a few miles, we were on flatter ground, and the truck starts pulling away, and I was getting a little bit knackered where I didn't want to chase after it again. So this gave Igor and I a bit of a rest that we were very thankful for. The rest of the way still included up to 2,000 feet of climbing, so the day was not over yet. It is 3:30. The fetching Mrs. Grusis is going to be a little peeved. We have about another 22 miles to go. Igor says we have about 11,000 feet of climbing that we've done, so that means we have about another 2,700 to go. This is our last ascent, and it's into Oakhurst, about 14 miles. Now right here, I'm just coasting down. I've been pretty knackered from the big ring work earlier along Merced River, and also some of the early climbs when I was doing in a little bigger gear. That's all pretty much caught up with me, but you'll see where I'm still doing some high RPM spinning, and the wattage for downhill at a respectable level. Igor, now, as I may have mentioned earlier, he had dropped quite a bit of weight since before Bass Lake. In fact, he's about 10 to 12 pounds lighter, and he's right around 178 pounds, and I am up to about 159 pounds, so that's about a 19-pound difference. And while he has a harder time keeping up with me on the climbs, as you can see here, he just drops like a rock compared to me on the descents. Well, we made it back to Oakhurst.
Yeah.
114 miles and a hell of a lot of climbing. So, gotta get home. It was a good day, beautiful day. Take a look at this. Doesn't get much better than that. Until next time, if you like what you see, hit like. Any questions or comments, put them below.